Hello, great people. Welcome back to Global Happenings. Today, we are so excited to have you again. As the APC are up boasting and talking about the advantage that they have in terms of demography in the north, talking about the population in the north, that it's going to be to their huge advantage. A key stakeholder in Nigerian politics says that it will not be as usual. Being as usual means that the North, this time around, will not decide who carries the day or who becomes the president of Nigeria. But then APC are looking at the fact that PDP is already very unstable, and with the introduction of a Labour Party, a lot will go against them. Political analysts are speaking from different corners of the country. But then let's look at what Adebanjo has to say about the issue of not deciding for Nigeria again and the boast that came from the Kano State governor about the issue of population, which they are going to use to the advantage of APC presidential aspirant. We're going to be looking at those two news in a jiffy. But before we continue, if you're not subscribed to our channel, please do well hit on the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish our video. And according to the news, the governor of Kano State, Abdullahi Ganduje, says votes from one local government area in his state gives the All Progressive Congress APC more votes than the entire Southeast geopolitical zone. He said the emergence of Peter Obi as a flag bearer of the Labour Party in the 2023 presidential election is good news to the APC. However, based on the governor's analysis, Obi emergence spelled doom for the People Democratic Party (PDP). According to his words, he said, "Our major contender is the PDP. What is our political investment in the Southeast? The votes we got from Nasarawa local government area in Kano metropolitan area was much higher than the total vote APC got in the entire 5 states in the Southeast. So you can see that if there is any problem politically in the Southeast, it is the People Democratic Party that will suffer the brush. So the emergence of Peter Obi from the southeastern part of the country, I think it's the vote of PDP that he will snatch away and is already snatching away. For APC, I think it is even a good omen. Instead of having a very close competition, now the attention of the competitors have been diverted. And also in a related news, the acting leader of Afenifere, Ayo Adebanjo, has said that the North cannot dictate to the rest of the country who becomes the president. Adebanjo spoke on Monday during a public lecture themed Nationalism and Nation Building in Nigerian History held at the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs on Victoria Island, Lagos. He said it was said that the Southeast must come to negotiate with the North because politics is a game of numbers. My case is, and I told people yesterday, the case for the East is not to beg for a favor. It is their right. Yet each time I hear that they should go around because the North has a population, what fraudulent population? You can't sell that to me. They tell us to work together, but unfortunately, because they now have produced a president at the helm of affairs, they say no one can become president except you come to the north. And unfortunately, some Southerners have been brainwashed that they can't do anything except they bow to the north. I don't believe it. What right has the North to dictate who will become our president? We were brought together not by peace nor by agreement. They forced us together and we agreed. So to continue to live together in peace must be by agreeable terms. The East has the right. I'll take that again. He said the East have the right to. Sorry. He said the East has a right, not because he is Igbo, but because it is in Nigeria. The principle of Afenifere is on ideological basis and principle of rightness, inclusiveness, and not any sentiment. The president of Anazendi Igbo, Professor George Obiozor, in his opening remark explained that no generation of Nigerian leaders since independence had been able to create an atmosphere of credibility to ensure Nigeria's claim to a political future as the nation. He said recently some Nigerian political leaders have said that Nigerian unity is non-negotiable. This is an irony because these leaders seem to have forgotten Nigeria's history or have failed to learn the lesson of history in general. Nigerian unity is definitely negotiable and must be renegotiated for it to stand or survive the test of time. Reality over the years remained that in spite of the best effort of all our leaders, past or present, Nigeria unity is not guaranteed. It is simply at best an aspiration and not yet an achievement. Consequently, the statement that Nigerian unity is non-negotiable is simply a historical fallacy. On his part, the National Director of Publicity of the Northern Elders Forum, Dr. Hakim Ahmed, said some Nigerian political leaders have said Nigerian unity is non-negotiable. I don't know who these people are, but I can tell you they are not of the North and they are not related to NEF. Nigeria's unity is negotiable. You either negotiate it because nations are very fragile and very delegate, and you have to nurture them and pay attention to their needs, or they break, and we are at the breaking point. The guest lecturer, Professor Jide Osuntukun, lamented that since 1966, Nigeria has struggled to find a method to balance the regional desire for autonomy under a national structure. Wow, quite interesting. But one of the focus point right now is the issue of a particular region deciding who becomes the president. And I just want to come from the perspective of Ayo Adebanjo. Just fairly recently, we've seen what these guys came up with, talking about the spokesperson of a coalition of United Political Party, which is one of the major opposition for the ruling party. They came up with some discovery where we see very young children were registered. I mean, it was unthinkable to see that, and I don't know how much it would take INEC to begin to purge the northern part of that huge, mistake. It wasn't. It was done far back, and in 2011, when there was first registration, it was done also, and now and again the same thing is happening, and that is the only way. These guys always seem as if they are more than us. The only place I can boast of say they have so much crowd is Kano State. We all know that. At least I've been seeing oftentimes when they come up for campaign, the crowd is always very huge and all of that. But apart from Kano, I don't think that other regions are that much, considering even the effect or the effect of the presence of Boko Haram, Fulani Herdsmen, and other terrible groups that are there, talking about Ishrab and the rest. Now, with all of that being taken into consideration, most of them have left that particular part of Nigeria down to the southern part. So I am just wondering why the North should still be feeling that their population is more than we that are in the south. And at this point, I feel that we have to make a decision. And that decision is to vote the right person into power. I think that's what Peter Obi has been hammering on. Forget about the fact that I am an Igbo man. Forget about the fact that, we have not been given an opportunity to lead the country. Let's look at the issue of competence, the issue of capacity, ability, and also track record of each of those who have been given an opportunity and their current state of mental capacity, because all of that must also be taken into consideration. And if you take that into consideration, I tell you the truth that in the southern part of the country, I think the only person that has emerged and who has the capacity to take on this country from where we are to where we should be is Peter Obi. Already we have seen a lot of gaffe from the person of Ahmed Tinubu. Already he is mentally, he's not capable. Age-wise, the man is old. So I think that with what this guy has said, it shouldn't be a challenge for the South to gang up together and give all the votes. Kano State, yeah, they are much, but I tell you that River State have enough to equate them. We shouldn't be, sharing this thing. We know who we want, and the person we want is Peter Obi. Why? Because he has the wherewithal to lead us. I don't think this should even be causing a lot of issue, because I know that in the northern part of the country, those guys pay obedience to their leaders, call maybe the emirs and the rest. They respect them, and whatever they tell them to do, they do. But unfortunately, I'm still seeing that same thing happen here in the southern part of the country, where you sit back and you watch videos where people are giving out their own voters card. People who should be in charge of their lives are already trading their future on the platform of just 10,000 naira that will not be able to solve your child's school fee for just one term. It can't solve it, and you are trading your decision, which is the most valuable thing you have right now, and trading it and even the future of your children because of 10,000 naira. I mean, it's unbelievable, and I feel that it will be a huge loss and a pitiful state for Nigeria if at the end of the day we lose out. I don't want to talk more. Let me just allow you go to a comment.